This is DJ New. The most interesting DJ in the world. DJ New.
Weddings. Music.
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player.
Okay, get up. Dipset. Joel Santana. Heatmakers. I think this.
And wine. With New.
This is DJ New. The most interesting DJ in the world.
Yes, it is the most interesting DJ in the world. And you're head of the table, head of the podcast. And welcome to Weddings, Music, and Wine with New, which is me. Coming to you on Spreaker.com. Available on all major streaming services as well. Services including iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spotify. I'm super excited to be back on air after a long hiatus like the Stranger Things show. But welcome to the first rebranded episode with myself, New. And if you don't know who I am, I had another podcast that ran for 2 years during the pandemic era. It's a New Day podcast that's streamed all over the country and world too. Was really popular in India for some reason. Must have been all the Bollywood love I was showing them, but much respect to them and everyone that tuned in. But after taking time to reassess what I really wanted out of a show, I took a couple of classes over the last year on how to rebrand, grow my business, and also like my brand as well. So I renamed the show, dedicated it to only subjects that I know inside and out. And that is weddings for sure, since I am a current wedding planner and recently ordained as an officiant. So I can officiate any wedding I want to. I have done hundreds of ceremonies over the past 7 years. Music, of course, I've been DJing since I was 15 years old and have traveled the country and world touring over the years, and will always love any and all music. And wine, because who doesn't like a good glass of red or white wine? I actually have a glass in my hand right now. Well, maybe some people don't like it, but you know what? That's their problem. This show will have tips on do's and don'ts of planning your wedding, along with other tidbits about your special day, and also special guests as well to guide you through your wedding coming up through future episodes. Music with original and instrumentals, like some of the music that's playing in the background right now, for your listening pleasure, with guests from the music world, DJs that I know, singers that I know, other artists that I know as well coming your way. And last but definitely not least, the wine of the day, which I will get into a synopsis of the wine itself. I will be partaking on throughout the show, like I am right now, like Leon Phelps, along with the wine enthusiasts, and also visiting wine vineyards all over the country, hopefully anyway. But definitely will be going to some this summer and interviewing the people in charge of their wonderful wines and establishments. So sit back and listen in to New as I give you the download on the Weddings, Music, and Wine podcast, streaming on Spreaker.com, also available on all major services along with iHeartRadio, Spotify, and iTunes. So first up, this is what we got going on. We got the 10 steps for planning a wedding, and believe you me, there are thousands of steps to plan one of these monsters, but I think 10 will help right off the bat. So first thing, pick your date, tentative or permanent. Break it down to 2 dates, maybe. Don't go in thinking that you're gonna have like 1,000 different dates like this. You just don't know what date you want to pick. You have to pick your date so you at least know what season it's going to be, because seasons matter in the planning a wedding. 2, find a venue. Please find some place where you definitely want to have the wedding. That way you'll know exactly where you're going, and you'll know how big the place will be and how many people would be able to fit, just in case it's a big venue, small venue, backyard, out in a field, or just wherever. It doesn't really matter, but find a venue. 3, your guest list is very important. You don't want to invite anyone you don't want at your wedding, so you got to make sure you have a permanent guest list. That way you know exactly who's coming to your wedding and someone doesn't wedding crash your wedding. 4, timeline, template. You definitely have to have a timeline. You got to know if you're going to have a grand entrance and what time it's going to be, what time the actual ceremony is going to start, when the reception is going to start, if you're going to have a garter and a bouquet toss at the end, if you're going to have a money dance, or just anything. So you definitely have a timeline template for your wedding. 5, music, band or DJ or both. I've done all of them. I've DJ'd a lot of weddings by myself. I've also done it with bands. I've done it with pianists. I've done it with violinists. I've done it with everyone. So make sure you really want to know what type of music you want, just in case you want to have a band, just in case you want to have a DJ, just in case you just want to have both of them as well. And 7, budget planning. You want to be able to budget your wedding. Don't overspend, because if you overspend, then you're in debt with yourself and whoever else you got money from. I mean, if you have a family that's going to pay for it for you, then you go all out. More power to you. I've done all those type of weddings as well, where the couple didn't have to worry about like the money, because their parents or their family or someone else was just, paying for it for them. So yeah, but if you're not and you're on it on your own, budget your wedding. 8, delegate to friends and family. Make sure you don't overwhelm yourself, and just delegate it to like especially your friends. Your friends want to be involved with the bride, and the grooms want to be involved with the groom itself. delegate everything, like all the stuff that you need to do. That you got to run out, you got to go do your gifts and all that type of stuff, or you have to go find flowers and all that stuff. Don't overwhelm yourself. Delegate that stuff out to your friends and family. 9, involve your partner. Don't leave your partner out of it. Just because you might be more into it than your partner, make sure you involve him or her so you guys can have like a really good date. Like if you want to pick out the music, have like a little dinner date or like a lunch date or something like that, where you can actually sit there and drink some wine, like myself, and actually listen to some music that you both like, and be able to pick and make your list out, or your playlist, and that way you can actually have a good time with your partners. And like I say, go out and to some of these venues and like go to the bridal shows and stuff like that together, and actually be able to talk with like the venue people and talk to the florists and all that type of stuff. But do it together. That way you're involving each other and you can have a good time doing it. 10, just don't get overwhelmed. Break it all down. Make sure you got something that's going on every week, not every day, because you're going to overwhelm yourself, but at least two to three things a week. Make sure you do something every other day during the week up until your wedding. That way you're able to break it down. And that is my 10 steps for planning a wedding. I hope that helped out just a little bit. Like I said, there's so many steps to a wedding, but 10 steps to start with, I think that would help out. So listen back to what I told you guys. Maybe you'll catch something. You'll be like, okay, I can do that, or I can do this, or just anything. So yeah, just make sure you take care of yourself and don't overwhelm yourself. And like I said, involve your partner, pick a date, find a venue, guest list, timeline, music, thank you cards. Left that out. Actually do thank you cards and gift cards and stuff like that. And like I said, budget planning, delegate to friends, involve your partner, and like I said, don't get overwhelmed. All right, so this is Weddings, Music, and Wine with New. Gonna play a little clip from a wedding, not an actual wedding, but Wedding Crashers. Hope you guys laugh and enjoy. We'll be right back.
Me to the Lions. What? Step on my head when I'm drowning. What a great friend. What do you mean, what? John, this is completely against the rules. You have a wedding and a reception to seal the deal. Period. There's no overtime.
Oh, no overtime?
No.
What about the Chang wedding 3 years ago?
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah. I forgot about that. 2 a.m. You dragged me 50 miles to watch you and some chick play mahjong with her grandmother at a retirement home?
Yeah, completely different situation.
How?
What do you mean, how? She was a very, very family-oriented girl, and she was very into her grandmother. They're very family-oriented.
Give me a break.
That was my first Asian. You better lock it up. You better lock it up.
No, you lock it up.
You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Weddings. Music.
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player.
Okay, get up. Dipset. Joel Santana. Heatmakers. I think this is the one.
And wine. With New.
This is DJ New. The most interesting DJ in the world.
Yes, it is the most interesting DJ in the world. This is your boy, DJ New. Weddings, Music, and Wine with New. And that was a clip from Wedding Crashers with those two crazy fools, Owen Wilson, and I can't even think of the big guy's name, but who cares? Wedding Crashers just is a classic. Come on, whatever. All right, music, that is our next subject. And I'm going to play some music. And my last podcast is a New Day podcast. I had a lot of copyrighted music on there, so I'm definitely not doing that this time, even though I absolutely love music and I just wanted to just represent all the artists and blah, 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 all that other stuff. But this time I did my research. Don't